Magandang gabi sa mga mahal naming manonood. Ang Park Conversations Shedding Light on Postpartum Depression ay magsisimula sa ilang sandali lamang. Good evening to our beloved viewers. Park Conversations Shedding Light on Postpartum Depression will begin in a few minutes. Magandang gabi po muli sa mga minamahal naming manonood. Ang Park Conversations Shedding Light on Postpartum Depression ay magsisimula sa ilang sandali lamang. Good evening to our beloved viewers. Park Conversations Shedding Light on Postpartum Depression will begin in a few minutes. Good evening, everyone. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat and welcome to Park Conversations Shedding Light on Postpartum Depression, brought to you by the National Parks Development Committee and the Department of Tourism. Before we begin our talk, we would like to share a few reminders for all our viewers. This Park Conversations webisode is also streaming live on our Facebook page, npdc.ph, and will be available on demand after the live discussion. We encourage everyone to share tonight's webinar with your friends on social media and use the hashtag Park Conversations and hashtag Mother's Day 2021. We'd also love to hear from you during the live discussion. Gusto naming marinig ang inyong comments at makita ang inyong mga reactions. At kung kayo ay may mga tanong para sa ating speaker, lalong-lalo na sa mga soon-to-be mommies at maging sa mga daddies, maaari ninyo itong iparating sa amin sa pamamagitan ng Q&A button na matatagpuan sa ibabang bahagi ng inyong screen. At para naman sa ating mga viewers sa Facebook, maaari ninyong i-comment ang inyong mga katanungan sa live video na ito. Sisikapin naming masagot ang lahat ng inyong katanungan sa nakatakdang oras para sa webinar. At panghuli, ang mga makakakumpleto lamang sa pagsagot ng ating online survey form ang makakatanggap ng copy ng kanilang digital certificate. Kaya abangan po ninyo sa chat box at comment section ang online survey link na aming ipopost. Please review your entry details, lalo na po ang inyong pangalan before hitting submit button dahil ito po ang aming ilalagay sa inyong digital certificate. And that's it for the reminders. Again, welcome po sa 21st webisode ng PAR Conversations titled Shedding Light on Postpartum Depression. This special webisode was organized by the NPDC in celebration, of course, of Mother's Day. At bago tayo tuluyang mag-umpisa sa ating programa, nais ko lamang pong batiin ang lahat ng mga nanay, mama, ina, mommy, mamita, mudra, momshies at maging ang mga soon-to-be mama at of course ang mga fur mamas na katulad ko ng Happy Mother's Day. Ayan. Ayon sa isang pag-aaral na ginawa ng Parent Up, isang SMS-based maternal support and postpartum depression for mothers in urban locales in the Philippines noong March 31 hanggang 2017 hanggang September 30, 2018, 200,000 teenagers ang nagiging ina kada taon. At karamihan sa mga teenage mothers na ito ay kabilang sa low-income communities with poor access to mental health resources and emotional support. Samantalang 10 to 18% ng mga kababaihan naman ang nakakaranas ng postpartum depression o PPD matapos nilang manganak. Ano nga ba ang postpartum depression? Ano-ano ang mga sanhi at maaaring maging epekto nito sa isang ina at maging sa kanyang anak? Alamin natin ito at ang iba pang mga mahalagang detalye kasama si Dr. Lydia Jamora-Bautista. Dr. Lydia Jamora-Bautista is the current Medical Officer 3 at Dr. 𝐿 Delgado Memorial Hospital and consultant at Perpetual Socorro Hospital and Maternity. She finished her degree in BS Chemistry at the Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila and earned a degree in Doctor of Medicine at the University of the East Ramon Magsaysay Medical Center. Aside from being a member of the National College of Obstetrician Gynecologists, Dr. Jamora-Bautista is also part of the Unang Yakap Advocate and the former head of Mother and Baby Friendly Facilities Initiatives. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's welcome our esteemed resource speaker to PAR Conversations, Dr. Lydia Jamora-Bautista.
Good evening.
Ayan, good evening po, Doktora.
Okay. Magandang gabi po. May konting corrections lang.
Yeah. Yes po.
I'm presently Medical Officer 3 at Hospital ng Sampaloc. It's an LGU hospital sa Manila. And I'm a consultant at Delgado Hospital.
Oh, we stand corrected for that information po, Doktora. Ayan.
Okay. So let's start our mini lecture. Magandang gabi po, everybody. Most of my patients call me Doc Jam, Doc Bao. Depende ko anong age nila ako nakilala. So I'm more accustomed to monosyllabic calls lang po. Para maging pantay ang ating kaalaman, ang ating discussions, mag-state tayo ng pare-parehong definition of terms. Pag po sinabing peripartum, yun ay panahon na when you are pregnant at saka 6 weeks after you give birth, after you deliver. Kaya po tinawag na postpartum depression kasi pasok po siya doon sa 6 weeks after ka nanganak. Yung depression po, let's not use it loosely, wag yung basta lang masabing depression. So may ibig sabihin si depression. It's a mood disorder, so disorder siya, isa siyang sakit, causes a persistent feeling of sadness. So persistent, hindi siya, 'di ba minsan malungkot lang ako, I'm depressed. So wag ganon, wag nating let's not mix them up. Because sadness, feeling sad is a normal emotion. At pag hindi ka nag-feeling sad, baka yun ang hindi normal, tama po ba? Ang APA, EPDS, and NCH are just some societies that I will be mentioning in our lectures. Diyan ko kinuha most of the sources of most of the topics, most of the lectures. Hindi po tayo magde-delve into the nitty-gritty of postpartum depressions. We will talk on how a layman can identify and how a layman can initially help. Kasi po, ang severe cases of that, kailangan talagang psychiatrist na po. Peripartum depression is a serious but treatable medical illness involving feelings of extreme sadness. Indifference po, ibig sabihin, nag-detach ka na sa society mo, sa people around you. Or anxiety, lahat pinoproblema mo na. As well as changes in energy, sleep, and appetite. Kaya po siya importante because this person is a mother. A mother who will take care of the child. So, nakakatakot siya dahil may isa pang human being na maapektuhan kapag ang mommy ang nag-succumb to postpartum depression. Okay? Treatable, like most of psychiatric disorders, ang first line of management niya is to talk to the patient. Like you assess the patient, no? Hindi agad-agad medications. So, basta't ma-detect mo siya early on, madali lang siyang i-manage. So, extreme sadness to the point of not being functional, hindi mo na nagagawa ang basic responsibilities mo as a mommy and as a person. Mapapansin po ninyo, ito yung mga taong after a certain tragedy in life, hindi na naliligo, hindi na nagtutoothbrush, yung mga basic na bagay, nakaapekto na sa kanya. Makikita natin yon. Ay nako, ito ang causes ng postpartum depression. Kaya nga po postpartum kasi nanganak ka na. Pero, sabi ko nga po, 6 weeks lang po ang postpartum depression. So pag nakita ninyo yan, mukha pong hindi na yan 6 weeks old. Okay. Sa Pilipinas po, baka kasi ngayon lang natin narinig, no? So, a couple of years ago lang, narinig natin si postpartum depression. Pero, come to think of it, long time ago, since 2007, nagkaroon na sila ng initiative, ng moves, na identify na nila na it's becoming a problem. So, 2007, the late Miriam Defensor Santiago introduced a bill na aralin natin, let's see what is postpartum depression. Meron sa ibang bansa, pero wala sa Pilipinas. May nangyayari, pero walang nakakaalam. So ito, aralin natin. So as early as 2007 po yan. Ito po, random lang. It's a busy slide. Pero makikita po ninyo, wala siyang exact na batas for postpartum depression, but you can see sa iba-ibang areas, responsible parenthood natatackle ang postpartum depression, the psyche of the mommy. So meron sa example, sa mother-baby friendly, may part doon na sinasabing you have to counsel the mommy on breastfeeding because it helps in alleviating the mommy from postpartum depression. So ito po, iba-ibang mga department orders, Republic Acts. So as early as 2007 up to ito nag-evolve na po 2011. They even dati kasi pag sinabing may problem sa pag-iisip, institutionalized yan. So by hospital, by department, now they placed it down to the grassroots level. Pwede tayong maghingi ng tulong from the health centers because people are being trained to do that. So naka-incorporate po yan sa iba-ibang mga programs ng government. Mapapansin po ninyo, most of these policies are ingrained in the healthcare of a woman as a mommy, kasi nga postpartum depression is basically a maternal illness, a maternal problem. So mas malamang yan, mapapansin po yan ng obstetrician before the psychiatrist. And most commonly, most probably, these patients or the relatives of these patients will consult the obstetricians first. Ito lang ang mga nakita kong studies na Philippine-based. Last 2014, they had a study sa Cavite group po ito. They had a total of 115 subjects and they used the Edinburgh Postnatal Depression Scale. So you can search that sa Google. Sa Google. It's a 10-point question, tapos may answer, may scoring system siya. It's a very easy questionnaire, pero it has to be answered unbiased. So walang kasama si mommy, walang magtuturo sa kanya, walang magko-coach sa kanya. Just read it as it is, tas answer it as how you feel it. Merong malaking bearing ang question number 10. Because question number 10 is already testing or asking about the mom's desire to live. Baka sa sobrang lungkot niya, she has having suicidal ideations niya na. So yun ang ayaw natin. At this age and time, sobrang dali ng knowledge. Everybody can access knowledge now. So minsan too much knowledge is not healthy also. You cannot just diagnose a patient. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin, ay pasok itong kaibigan kong to. Depressed siya kasi nasa kanya lahat ng check siya sa lahat ng checklist. Hindi po ganun yun. Kailangan kilalanin mo yung tao. You have to know na meron pa rin siyang desire to pursue her life. Lalo na nanay siya. So it's not just her life, it's the life of the baby also. So sabi dun sa study ng Philippine Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecologists, they had 115 subjects. 7.83% of that 115 may suicidal ideations na. So sa sobrang depressed, naiisip niya, the only solution is to end everything. Hindi niya na naisip na meron pang isang life na nag-depend on her. Sabi din dun sa study na pag-aralan nila, risk factors. So ano ang chances? Ano ang napansin nilang group na posibleng magkaroon ng postpartum depression? May I remind you, 2013 study to ha, that's like 8 years ago pa. Mag-iiba na po yan ngayon. So 8 years ago, napansin nila na mataas ang malaking risk factors kapag nanganak ka between 18 to 35, pag may asawa ka, first baby mo, may previous ng psychiatric disorder, pag nanganak ka ng normal, pag baby boy, at ang breastfeeding status mo ay mixed. So may bote at may breastfeeding, but breastfeeding ka and formula fed ang infant. Okay, so yun ang findings nila 8 years ago. Ngayon po, mag-iiba na yan. So there's no recent, I have not come across any recent study on the risk factors, but based on textbooks na recent naman, the age of those who are at high risk for postpartum depressions has become lower. True enough na sa census din naman natin, based on what we see sa fields, on the clinics, most of our patients are already getting younger. So younger, not mature, just young. So I've seen 13-year-old pregnants. I have seen 16-year-old on their second pregnancies, and marital status, mas madami po ang unmarried couples. Sa parity, mukhang yes, hanggang ngayon, primary pa rin po ang mas prone to postpartum depression. Manner of delivery, I came across this article that those who underwent cesarean section, operative deliveries, are more prone to postpartum depression, not because of the procedure, but because they have a feeling that they were a failure, na hindi nila naipanganak ng vaginal, ng normal. So, kuanya na, we are talking about subconscious thoughts ng parents. They will not verbalize it right away. It will just show up at a later time. So, feeling nila failure kapag hindi nila na-normal. Ang gender, well, ito pa lang ang nakita kong study na boy. Nagkataon na boy ang mas madami, pero I don't think there's a difference naman, siguro if they make a study now. Sa breastfeeding status, well, most parents really advocate breastfeeding. Kaya lang the first time moms feel the discomfort, so doubtful sila if they're doing it right. So just like a normal delivery and a cesarean delivery, ang feeling nila, if they shift to a mixed feeding or a formula feeding, sometimes they feel lesser. Kasi bakit hindi ko natuloy ang breastfeeding? Bakit hindi ako nakapag-breastfeed? And it's a cycle. Kapag stressed ang mommy, kapag sobrang dami niyang iniisip, bumababa ang letdown reflex. Hindi siya nagpo-produce ng breast milk because the body senses that there's another problem. So it's just normal na bababa ang kanyang production ng breast milk, tapos malulungkot siya. So it's really a cycle that needs to be stopped by external sources, and those external sources are our households. Okay. This is another study. Ano bang year to? Mas bago, 2019. Ang inaral naman nila, it's in a rural area. Ayan. I took the liberty of putting the names kasi they studied this sa kanila to. Na inaral nila how many pregnant women, postpartum women, experience postpartum depression, and are they treated? Are they being addressed? Yeah. They had a total of 165 patients. Out of 165, they found out that 16.4% of that expressed postpartum depressions at the 6th week after delivery. So doon po tayo papasok ulit yung sa definition natin na dapat pag postpartum depression hanggang 6 weeks lang. Bakit may cut-off? Kasi if you go beyond 6 weeks postpartum, babalik na kasi ang normal na cycle ng babae. Babalik na ang normal na pangangatawan ng babae. Okay? So after bumalik ng normal na pangangatawan ng babae, beyond 6 weeks, baka talagang may iba na siyang sakit at hindi lang dahil sa panganganak niya. You have to understand, ang babae is madaming interplay of hormones. Sa buong lifetime ng isang babae, meron tayong surges in hormones. So pag first time mo nag-mens, menarche, yan, magsasurge ang hormones mo. Mapapansin din ninyo yung mga anak nating mga magti-teenager na, ay, kakaiba ang kinikilos nito. Yung mga nag-i-start magbuntis, makikita din naman yung mga naglilihi, may kakaiba din silang mga ugali, kakaibang activities that we all attribute to the hormonal changes. Pag menopause, lalo na pag nag-menopause, hindi po ba lahat tayo, pag nagsisimula ng magsungit ang mga nanay at mga ate natin, ay menopause na yan. So even the layman na-identify nila what the hormone play is. So ganun din po si postpartum. So, within 6 weeks, andun pa yung hormones of pregnancy. So that plays a role in the normal feeling of the mommy na minsan I feel sad kasi pagkapanganak ko, di ba? Ang sexy ko noon size 23 lang ang waistline ko. After kong nanganak, just right after my first baby, 34 kagad from 23. So depressing yun kasi you feel like you lost your beauty. Pero dapat na-address niya yon in the thought na I gained a baby. And aside from that, kapag nag-breastfeed siya, so yung feeling na I lost a lot. Pero when you start taking care of your baby, dapat mas malaki ang bearing na I gained this baby, I gained a life, this life is dependent on me. So it's still an interplay of hormones, pero the desire to raise another life, dapat mas evident yon. Okay? Sa study na to, nakita rin pala nila na postpartum services were not routinely provided at the hospital level, at the institution level. So, na-detect nila na merong postpartum, 16.4% of their population had postpartum depression, pero hindi siya na-address. So, this study just says na despite na 2007 pa tayo nag-start, despite na madaming bills and rules and RAs, Republic Acts na nagsasabing, hey, we have to do this, hindi talaga na-address pa. So may kulang pa. And we have to know na hindi ang first line ng management niya is not always drugs. It's psychosocial management. So kailangan may makausap siya, kailangan may mag-explain sa kanya because she has to differentiate the feeling of being sad because the hormones is playing a big role after delivery and the feeling of depression. Yun po ang sinabi ko sa start, we should not loosely use the term depression and make it sound normal, make it sound less scary, less effective. Ano pa po? So we have programs. I can speak for the MBFFI, the Mother Baby Friendly. There are seminars, there are courses on how to counsel. Kasama po ang postpartum depression sa counseling. So these attendees don't have to be doctors or medically inclined. You just have to be able to understand how the mommy feels, how the society works around the mommy, and how the mommy can cope with the ongoing interplay of hormones in her body. And there, malalaman po ninyong mahilig ako manood ng pelikula. Number one, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel worried. Kasi unang-una po, it's a normal emotion. Hindi siguro normal pag hindi mo siya naramdaman. So, I'm sad, nanganak ako, so hindi na ako sexy, hindi na ako gusto ng asawa ko. But, I gained a baby who is dependent on me, who looks up to me. So, yeah, I'm anxious, natatakot ako. Paano ko papalakihin tong batang to? So, one step at a time, okay, breastfeed muna tayo. A couple of days, marunong na siyang, a couple of weeks, marunong na siyang meron siyang milestone. So let's take it, let's tell the mommies, dahan-dahan lang mommy, one at a time, one problem at a time. Na overwhelm sila, baka kakapanganak lang, iniisip nila kung ano pang tuition niya, di ba? So, but it's a fact, okay? So, that's part of the fears of a mom. And number two, ito, it takes a village to raise a child. Nakita ko to sa Facebook It takes a village to take care of a COVID patient. So nakakatuwa siya, pero it's true that it takes a village to raise a child because Initially, the baby will be the mommy, pero later on, nasa community siya eh. So that child will reflect what the community is showing her. And these children that these mommies are raising are the future Filipinos. Sila ang magiging susunod na doktor, susunod na president. So we have to make sure that we protect the mom so that someone will protect this child. And movie din po yan. The hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world. So talagang the future of our society depends on how we protect the children, the mommy and the children. Thank you po.
Ayan, thank you so much Dr. Lydia Zamora for sharing with us yung mga informations tungkol sa postpartum depression. Ayan, para po sa ating mga viewers po ulit, you can drop your questions sa ating comment section sa Facebook Live. And also, pwede rin po dito sa Q&A button para sa ating mga Zoom participants. Ayan, Doktora, ano po? So, meron lang akong first question po, kasi i-relate natin siya sa current status na nangyayari po sa Pilipinas. May data po ba tayo na kung tumaas po yung cases ng PPD during this pandemic?
Kasi last year lang si pandemic. Okay? Ang last POPCOM, so Population Commission data, was 2017. So ganun katagal sila collate ng data. Ngayon, kung pagbabasihan ko lang si Google search, wala po ako nakitang data ng 2019. Okay? But I have data from hospital. Kaya lang, for the pandemic, kasi ang last time that I saw a postpartum depression case was like 5-7 years ago. So that's beyond the pandemic pa. So I don't think there's still a data ngayon, lalo na walang face-to-face consultations. So they will just rely online. But I think the Philippine Psychiatric Association, I think it's easier for them kasi maglo-login ka lang if you don't feel good, o napaka-accessible para sa patients ngayon na mag-consult. Kasi most of the virtual consults ngayon may platform na. Unlike before na talagang personal kang pupunta. So I think mas mataas nga siguro ngayon.
Okay po. So siguro isa to sa mga way din po itong question na to para yung ating mga mommies and soon to be mommies na pakiramdam nila baka magkaroon sila ng PPD, di ba? Para po i-check na nila yung mga possible na websites kung saan sila pwedeng magpa-consult. Pero ito po ba, Doktora, nabanggit nyo kanina, merong mga institutions na pagkapanganak, parang binibigyan ka na nila agad ng parang questionnaire. So may ganun po bang?
I think, 5 years ago, I can speak for Manila LGU lang kasi I was there. So I think 5 years ago, long before this, nagkaroon ang DOH ng program that they wanted all hospitals, all health facilities to be accessible to patients with the mental health problem. Not necessarily postpartum depression. So in general yon. Tapos there was a time that we were preparing the hospital that I am working in now for that. But you have to consider also that not all hospitals have an in-house psychiatrist. So it's a referral system. Yun po yung binanggit ko na most of the time, your first contact person is your obstetrician. Kasi ang idea ng mga nanganak, lahat ng right after manganak ay problema ng OB. Na tama naman. Tama naman siya. So I think last year din lang, because of the pandemic, I think they even authorized OB to prescribe medications for depression. But no, I haven't tried it. I haven't tried prescribing yet. Kasi ang first line of treatment for these patients is psychotherapy. You talk to them. You assure them na, oh, wag masyadong one step at a time. Nagpapa-breastfeed ka lang, pinoproblema na yung tuition, ano ba, 'di ba? Just one step at a time. Tapos ang problema ngayon, I think with this pandemic, people are shut off kasi. You quarantine them, you don't allow them to go out. So feeling nila, they're left alone. So buti na lang at merong media. Feeling
Ayan.
nila hindi sila alone.
Okay po. Doktora, di ba nabanggit niyo po, 6 weeks lang ang dapat itinatagal ng PPD. Pero may question po kasi na possible daw po bang tumagal ng taon yung PPD?
Masyado kayo natuwa sa picture ko kasi 9 years old na yun eh. No. Kaya po 6 weeks ang cut-off natin. I mentioned, there's a hormonal basis for this. Pagka buntis ka at nanganak ka, you have 6 weeks to let go of those hormones at bumalik ka sa normal na hormones mo. So ito po yung ang pag sinabing hormones, ito yung nagpaparegla sa atin, ito yung nagpapaganda ng malusuklan nating kutis, yung mga ganyan, okay? So 6 weeks after pregnancy, babalik ka sa dati. Babalik theoretically babalik yung cycle mo, babalik na yung skin mo, mag-adjust ka na, wala ka ng fats because of pregnancy, okay? So after 6 weeks at may depression pa rin siya, hindi na po siya because of the hormones. There's probably another thing that's causing her depression. Tas tandaan natin, before she got pregnant, before all of this, hindi naman natin alam kung meron na siyang to start with, existing illness. So, yun kasi hindi natin nalalaman. Hindi pa ganun ka mature ang society natin for that.
Okay, so 6 weeks lang siya talaga. So more than that, kailangan na nating ipa-check kasi baka iba na po, ibang form of depression na siya, kumbaga.
All forms of depression dapat pong ipa-check talaga. So whether it's 6 weeks before or 6 weeks after, the difference lang po yung cause of the depression. So ito, kaya siya hindi na postpartum depression, tapos na kasi yung cause of the depression. So iba na siya pagkatapos ng boundary na yun.
Ayan, may question po tayo from Facebook po, doktora. Ang PPD po ba ay mas prone sa mga panganay na anak or it can happen in any birth order?
Dun sa mga nabasa natin sa panganay, but it can happen in any birth order. Okay? So not because of the hormones only, but remember, 'di ba? It's the society. So yung what's this year, the situation that you're in on your second pregnancy is different from the situation you were in sa unang pregnancy mo. So baka meron kang bagong stressor, so it can happen through any pregnancy.
Okay, hindi lang siya pang panganay, hindi lang pang bunso. Pero yung gap po ba, doktora, may connection din po ba yun? Yung, I mean, halimbawa, yung first child ko, tapos yung second child ko, ang pagitan nila like ilang years din. Siguro mga sabihin na natin mga 10 years yung pagitan nung second birth ko. So does it have anything to do with it? Pwede ba akong paring magkaroon ng PPD po?
Yes, ma'am. Like what I said, iba po kasi yung situation mo now, situation mo 10 years ago. Tapos iba rin po, we have to remember, as an OB na matagal na po ako nagpa-practice, every patient has a story to tell. And not all pregnancies are happily accepted. So sad to say, at sa tanda kong ito sa practice, I saw that. Sometimes, I made the mistake of assuming, nung bata-bata pa ako. So I I realized na every pregnancy is a risk. Kasi
Mhm.
every pregnancy has a different story to tell.
Ayan po. So sige po, move on tayo sa panibagong question po, Doktora. Gaano kalaki ang papel na ginagampanan ng pamilya as support system para sa mga mommies na may PPD? Para sa mga daddies, paano kaya nila ito mapaghahandaan?
Mapaghahandaan talaga, pinaghahandaan ng depression. Okay, like any other mental health illness or any illness at all, no? Kahit nga
Mm.
COVID lang na illness, di ba? The
Mm.
family, the support system is very, very needed. Yan ang unang-unang makakapagpagaling sa'yo. Okay? So, ngayon, ako rin, nalaman ko, not all couples are married, di ba? So, you have
Mm.
partners. So, it doesn't matter if you're married or not, but if you have a good support system from your partner, it's okay. Basta you feel that you're not alone, and yet you're just going through the phase.
Mhm.
Kasi these people, they're afraid of the future. They're afraid of,
Mm.
ano ko papakainin ng anak ko? Oh, lalo na pag nakaka-handle kami ng mommy na COVID positive.
Oh.
Sobrang counseling yun kasi sobrang takot siyang baka mahawaan ang anak.
Mhm.
So you just have to reassure them. Most of the times it works already. You have to reassure them that what they're doing is good and is right.
Mhm. Okay po. Pero yung sa mga daddies po, yung sa mga daddies, paano, hmm, siguro ano kaya yung puwede nilang gawin para maipakita yung support nila dun sa mga asawa nila?
Unang-una po, they have to acknowledge that the feeling is real.
Mhm.
Kasi meron tayong mga may ugali ang Pilipino na, ano ba, nag-iinarte ka na naman.
Yes.
Tapos ka nang naglihi, pwede, tama
Mhm.
na. Oh,
Mhm.
parang ako rin ang nagbuntis ng 9 months and more. Yeah. So, tama naman siya kasi we really feel something. There's something that we can't explain eh. And it's real. So, siguro the first thing that a partner should do is acknowledge. Acknowledge that the feeling is real. Kasi magtatalo yun sa utak ng pasyente, ng mami. Naku, sinasabi niya hindi totoo yung nararamdaman ko, pero may nararamdaman ako. Nasisiraan na ako ng bait. Diba?
Mm.
So, acknowledge it na, uy, nabasa ko yan. Oo nga, may mga nagkakaganyan. Pero, tara, pag-usapan natin. So, alam mo naman ang mga
Mhm.
babae, mahilig sa talks yan. Toxic si
Mhm.
babae.
Ayan. So, para siguro din sa both couples, kumbaga, kung ano man yung situation, whether married sila or hindi, I guess dapat po din silang mag-search about it. Sabay na
Yes.
kumbaga mag-advance reading lang po. Kumbaga
Tama,
hindi
tama.
naman natin mapaghahandaan pero we can always do advance reading, yung pag-gather ng information, yung para lang din when the time comes, kung sakaling magkaroon ng PPD yung mother, at least 'di ba po, alam na nila kung paano iha-handle.
We have to take in consideration also
Mm.
that the mommy will not know that she's being depressed. Okay? Yung usually, ang pasyente, hindi nila alam. They will deny. They will think it's normal. Ang
Mhm.
makakapansin kasi talaga niyan, the people around her. So, hindi ko naman sasabihin, ang depressed, hindi naman niya sasabihin depressed siya.
Mhm.
Makikita mo na lang, huy, yung anak mo, umiiyak na, ba't di ka nagpapadede? Yang siya.
Mhm.
So it's the
Oh,
people, that's why the support system should be
important.
intact and strong. Kasi kayo
Mhm.
ang support, the people around her will be the first ones to notice. Dok,
Mhm.
parang 1 linggo na po siyang di naliligo.
Mhm.
Di na po niya inaalagaan ng katawan niya. Hindi na po siya, gumigising siya pero nakahiga lang, ayaw kumain. Yung baby, iyak ng iyak lang sa tabi. So there's something going on in her mind na hindi naman niya na-verbalize. So it's really good that couples talk. It's really good.
Mhm.
Kung syempre madami tayong single moms, sad
Mhm.
to say. Then, um, it doesn't have to be a male partner, no? She has a best friend, she has a sister, she has a cousin, just someone to talk to. That's going to be okay.
Saka dapat as tayo na kumbaga kung tayo yung part ng support group ng mommy, dapat observant din tayo po ano.
Yes. Yes po.
Ayan. So next question po tayo, Doktora. Doktora, sa inyo pong experience bilang doktor, ilang taon po ang pinakabatang nanganak?
Meron po akong 13-year-old.
Oh, okay po. So, dun sa 13...
It's not even, kasi usually pag ganun kabata, ang itatanong mo is, was there abuse? Diba? Well, siguro there was abuse, pero sa mata ng batang yon, she was not abused. So, I guess,
And ito po bang 13 years old na po ito, naka-experience din po ba siya ng PPD or hindi na?
I don't know kasi hindi na po siya nag-follow up. Most of them hindi na nag-follow up, but ang system kasi ng government natin, I can speak for the LGU I'm working with. When minor kasi nanganak sa amin, we activated kagad yan. You activate the pediatrician, you activate the social service. So para pag na-discharge siya, alam sa community na this patient is very young. There was a time nga pag minor, we don't send them home kung hindi parents ang kasama. Kapag partner lang ang kasama niya, sa social service, DSWD. So, that was long time ago. So, medyo harsh nga yun kasi mapupuno si DSWD ng teenagers, diba? But it's important for us to speak to the, part of being an OB is to speak to the parents of these young kids.
Kasi para na, kumbaga, alam din ng parents kung ano yung, baka kasi minsan, di ba po, may mga hindi pa sinasabi.
Yes.
Buntis na
Ako
pala.
pa
Hindi
magsasabing,
Opo.
na po kayo.
Sa OB-Gyne pa manggagaling na buntis na pala. Ayan. So, mahalaga din po talaga iyon. Next question po, Doktora. May kinalaman ba ang normal delivery at CS para magkaroon ng postpartum?
Yes. Yung isa pong study na binanggit ko sa inyo, I forgot, 2013 study, sabi nila, mas mataas daw ang postpartum depression incidence sa nag-normal delivery. Hindi naman po nila explain, tas wala naman pong physiology on that. So I guess, I am just assuming, baka na-stress siya sa labor, na-depress siya. Maybe, maybe. But recently, I came across an article. It's not a study, it's a mommy lang, it's an article of a mom, na she feels that she was inadequate. Gusto niyang mag-normal, gusto niya nga maglamas, gusto niya lahat, but hindi kasi lahat ng tao blessed na makapag-normal delivery. So, may malalaking baby, may maliliit na tao, may suhi ang baby, may ibang sakit. So, there are reasons for a cesarean section. Nagkataon na cesarean siya. So, she feels inadequate and she claims na na-depress siya because, for some time, na-depress siya because of that. So, she feels na hindi ako good enough na mommy dahil hindi ko na in-normal. But this is only an account of one person, one mom. So I think other moms would feel, some other moms also share the feeling. But it's not a study, it's not proven kung talagang ganon.
Okay po. And siguro, Doktora, for ano na lang, parang, ito, may pahabol po pala na question. Ano po, in terms of age, ano po ang oldest case ng PPD?
Ay, wala rin po tayong nakuha study for that. The oldest case. Akala ko ang tatanong niyo kung ilang taon ang oldest na nanganak.
Hindi naman po. Pero yung, okay, so wala, pero can it happen na halimbawa 40 years old na? Kasi po, di ba parang dun sa slide na pinresent nyo, parang 18 to 35?
Yes.
Ayun. Pero pag mga 40 years old, can it also happen sa kanila?
Ma'am, I told you,
Mhm.
each pregnancy is different, has a story to tell. So yung 40 years old na yan, if it's her first pregnancy and she's so excited to have that baby and she has a good support group, wala pong problema yon. But
Mhm.
if that 40 years old, pang 10th pregnancy niya na yan, alam mo, when you age, you also think, paano ko pabubuhayin yung baby ko?
Mm.
So there are factors around it. Uh, Probably there's an age study on that, pero hindi
Mhm.
pa natin nagagawa.
Mm.
But there's always a reason for having postpartum depression
Mhm.
that is a variant of other, uh, regardless of the age.
Mhm. Okay po, Doktora. Maraming salamat po. Siguro last message or last kumbaga last words for our viewers po.
Sa mga soon-to-be mommies at sa mga
Mhm.
mommies, Happy Mother's Day. It's one thing to feel it, and it's another thing to be able to verbalize it, to say it. Kasi
Mhm.
once you say it, uh, people will help you. There are people around you. May tutulong, meron at merong tutulong. Mahirap lang sa umpisa kasi may stigma, natatakot tayo. Baka sabihin nila, naku, kukunin na yung anak ko, sabi nila nasisira na ulo ko. No, I think the society is more mature now.
Mhm.
So we just need help. We ask for the help.
Ayan. Thank you so much po, Dr. Lydia Jamora-Bautista, for sharing with us your knowledge tungkol po dito sa postpartum depression. At sana po kahit papaano sa ating mga viewers ay nakatulong po ang webisode na ito ng Par Conversations para sa magiging mga nanay pa lang at sa mga nanay na may pinagdadaan ng ganitong kondisyon. Ayan, wag po nating kalimutan na lagi lang po dapat nating katulad nga po sinabi ni Doktora, sasabihin lang po natin kung ano yung nafe-feel natin para of course nare-recognize at natutulungan din po tayo. Ayan. Ayan po. And we'd also like to thank all our viewers on Zoom and Facebook Live for joining us tonight and helping this Spark Conversations webisode a success. Ayan, please remember to check your chat box and the comment section on our Facebook Live video for the link to your digital certificate as well as a quick survey, which will help us at the National Parks Development Committee improve the quality of our shows and projects. And if you enjoyed tonight's Park Conversations, please do follow us on our social media accounts. And to stay connected and updated for the other fun events that we have lined up for this month. For Facebook and Instagram, ayan po, it's npdc.ph, and for Twitter, it's npdc_ph. Again, thank you everyone and see you at our next Park Conversations. Happy Mother's Day po ulit sa ating mga nanay out there. Hello. Ay, ayan.